I'm Aisha Thompson, 52 years old, and if you saw me walking down Memorial Drive in Decatur, Georgia, you'd think I'm just another black woman getting by. My ranch-style house is modest, with a sagging porch and a garden of collards I tend myself. I drive a 2008 Honda Accord with a dented fender, wear thrift store dresses from Goodwill and Stone Mountain, and carry a purse so worn the straps are fraying. My neighbors call me Miss Aisha, the one who brings extra cornbread to the block cookout and clips coupons like it's a religion. But what nobody knows, not my neighbors, not my co-workers, not even my son Jamal, is that I'm a senior vice president at Technova, a tech giant in Midtown Atlanta. I pull in $45,000 a month, have millions in investments, and own properties from Savannah to Alpharetta. I've been keeping that secret for years, not out of shame, but because I learned early on growing up in Macon, Georgia, that real wealth ain't in your wallet. It's in your peace, your dignity, your heart. I was born in 1973 in a Macon shack with a tin roof that leaked when it rained. My mama was a maid for rich white folks, scrubbing they floors while they sipped sweet tea and called her girl at 40 years old. My daddy sharecropped until his back gave out. They taught me to hold my head high, no matter how folks look down on us. "Don't let 'em see you sweat, Aisha," Mama would say, her hands rough from lye soap but her eyes fierce with pride. I carried that into my life, earning a scholarship to Clark Atlanta University, working days as a clerk, and studying nights for my MBA. By 30, I was managing budgets for a small tech firm. By 40, I was signing multi-million-dollar deals. Now at Technova, I oversee $200 million in operations across the Southeast. But I never moved to Buckhead or bought a Benz. I stayed in Decatur, in the same house I bought when Jamal was a baby, raising him alone after his daddy walked out. Why? 'Cause I saw what money does. Twists folks into something ugly, makes them judge, control, despise. I wanted Jamal to grow up valuing effort, not entitlement. Jamal's 34 now, an engineer at a firm in Buckhead, married to Kayla, a marketing specialist from Savannah. Her parents, Regina and Harold Jenkins, are old black money, descendants of entrepreneurs who built wealth in real estate after Reconstruction. They live in a mansion on the coast, drive Mercedes, and vacation in the Caribbean. I met them at Jamal and Kayla's wedding a couple of years ago in a Savannah ballroom dripping with chandeliers. Regina, all pearls and silk, gave me a tight smile, her eyes scanning my off-the-rack dress like I was a stain on her rug. Harold, with his booming laugh and Rolex, shook my hand like he was doing me a favor. I knew they tight. Folks who think money makes them better, who measure you by your zip code and your shoes. That Tuesday evening, I was on my porch in Decatur, sipping sweet tea, the air thick with Georgia humidity and the hum of cicadas. Fireflies flickered like tiny lanterns. My phone buzzed, and Jamal's voice came through, tight with nerves. "Mama, Kayla's folks are coming up from Savannah this weekend. They want to meet you proper. Dinner at the Capitol Grill in Midtown. It's fancy, but please come. It'll mean a lot." I leaned back in my wicker chair, the creak blending with the night sounds. "They know anything about me, baby?" A pause, too long. "I told them you work in an office downtown, like a clerk. Simple life. They're particular, Mama. They got money. Simple. The word cut like a switchblade. My boy thought I was a clerk, scraping by, maybe one late bill from eviction. He was warning me not to embarrass him in front of Regina and Harold's high society world. I took a deep breath, tasting the magnolia-scented air. All right, Jamal, I'll be there. I hung up, staring at the stars peeking through Atlanta's smog. My mama's voice echoed in my head. Folks show you who they are when they think you ain't nothing. I'd felt Regina and Harold's judgment before, and my gut told me they were the type to size you up by your bank account. Fine, if they expected a poor, naive black mama from Decatur, I'd give them exactly that. I'd play the part, let them think I was broke, and see how they treated me. It was a test, not just for them, but for Jamal and Kayla too. In Georgia, where class and race tangle like kudzu vines, hypocrisy grows thick. I was ready to expose it. Saturday came hot as a skillet, the kind of Atlanta heat that makes your skin stick to itself. I rummaged through my closet for the perfect disguise. A faded flower dress from a yard sale in Stone Mountain, scuff flats that pinch my toes, and that old purse I had carried since Jamal's high school graduation. I tied my graying locks into a messy bun, skipped makeup, and checked the mirror. I looked like mama after a double shift, worn, invisible, forgettable. Perfect. I took an Uber to the Capitol Grill, the ride weaving through I-85 traffic past billboards for peach cobbler and personal injury lawyers. Midtown skyline shimmered like a mirage, all glass and steel. The restaurant was pure opulence, crystal chandeliers casting soft light, mahogany walls, waiters gliding in crisp uniforms. I stepped inside, the AC chilling my sweat-damp skin. There they were, at a corner table with a view of Atlanta's twinkling lights. Jamal in a sharp navy suit, his face tight with worry. Kayla in a sleek red dress, her braids cascading like a waterfall. Regina, regal in pearls in a silk blouse, her skin glowing from expensive creams. Harold, broad-shouldered in a blazer, his Rolex catching every glint. Jamal saw me first, his eyes widening like I walked in naked. "Mama!" He hugged me, his whisper urgent. "You okay? You look rough." I hunched my shoulders, my voice small and shaky. "I'm fine, baby. Took the bus to save a little money. You know how it is." Kayla egg-kissed my cheek, her perfume sharp as a blade. "So glad you're here, Miss Aisha." She turned to her parents, her smile strained like it was holding back a flood. "Mom, Dad, this is Jamal's mother." Regina extended a manicured hand, her grip limp like a dead fish. Her eyes flicked over my dress, my shoes, my purse, a quick, cold judgment. "A pleasure, dear. We've heard so much." Harold's handshake was firmer, but just as brief. "Charmed. Sit, sit." I took the seat at the table's edge, like a guest they forgot to invite. Nobody pulled my chair. The menu came heavy as a church hymnal, with prices that make mama faint. $60 steaks, $150 wine bottles. I squinted at it, playing dumb. "Lord, these words fancy. What y'all recommend?" Regina's smile was all teeth, no heart. "Something simple, maybe. The Caesar salad is light, won't break the bank." Harold chuckled like it was a joke we was all in on. "Gotta watch the budget, right?" Jamal's jaw clenched. Kayla twisted her napkins into knots under the table. The appetizers hit, shrimp cocktail, all shiny on a bed of ice. Regina started in, her voice dripping honey and venom. So, Aisha, Jamal says you a clerk downtown. That's good, honest work. Tough in this economy, though. I nodded, eyes down, playing the dumb. Yes, ma'am. Filing papers, answering phones, little bit of everything. Keeps the lights on. Barely. Harold sipped his scotch, smirking like he'd cracked the code to life. Respectable. We started from nothing, you know. Built our wealth in Savannah. Real estate. Investments. Diversified. You got any savings tucked away? I shook my head, my voice barely above a whisper. Not much. Rent and bills heated up. Regina leaned in, her pearls clicking softly. Bless your heart. It's hard out there, especially alone. Jamal worries about you, you know. The entrees arrived, tiny portions on plates bigger than my TV, all garnished like art. Regina kept going, dropping numbers like they were gospel. $500,000 for our beach house remodel, $2,000 a night at our Bahamas hotel, $10,000 for Kayla's Paris study abroad. Every word was a jab, testing if I'd flinch, if I'd gawk at their wealth. I didn't. I nodded, mumbled, "That's nice," and let them dig their hole deeper. I thought back to Macon, when I was 12, picking cotton after school to help Mama make rent. White folks would drive by, sneering at us, field hands. I'd vowed then to never let money make me forget my humanity. But Regina and Harold, they were drunk on it, tossing out figures to make me feel small. I let them, biding my time, watching their masks slip. Then Regina got bold, her voice all fake concern. "Aisha, it must be tough, living in Decatur on a clerk's pay. No savings, no safety net. Jamal's got potential, but he can't carry dead weight." My fork froze mid-bite. Dead weight? My boy's face went red, his fists balled under the table. Kayla stared at her plate, her napkin shriveled. I swallowed the rage burning my throat, kept my face soft. "I manage, ma'am. Don't want to burden nobody." Harold nodded like he was some wise elder at a church meeting. Smart, but family helps family. We gave Jamal and Kayla $50,000 for their condo downtown in Vinings. Honeymoon in Hawaii, $20,000. You ever chip in for them? "A little cash here and there," I whispered, my voice trembling just enough. "What I could spare." Regina sighed, all dramatic, like she was starring in her own movie. "You're trying, and that's what counts. But let's be real, Aisha. Jamal's got responsibilities now. Kayla, their future. We're thinking of helping you out. $600 a month, modest, to ease your strain. In return, give them space. No constant calls, no pop-in visits to their condo. Let them build their life without distractions." The bribe hit like a brick through a church window. Jamal exploded, his voice low but shaken. "Mom, Dad, that's enough." I set my fork down, wiped my mouth slow with the cloth napkin, and straightened up. The timid act was over. My voice came out clear, sharp, like a preacher calling out sin. $600 to disappear from my boy's life? That's your offer, Regina? She blinked, her pearls suddenly too tight around her neck. "We're just trying to help." "No," I cut her off, locking eyes. "You're trying to control. Y'all spent this whole dinner flaunting your money, your beach house, your vacations, your generosity. You pitted me like I'm some charity case, never once asking how I'm doing, what I've been through. You judged me by this dress, these shoes, this purse. You thought I was nothing, but you don't know me." Harold leaned forward, his Rolex glinting. "Now hold on. I ain't a clerk. I said, my Georgia drawl firm, carrying the weight of every late night I studied, every deal I closed. I'm vice president at Technova, $45,000 a month for 15 years, millions in investments, properties from Savannah to Alpharetta. I oversee $200 million in operations across the Southeast, managing teams in 5 states. I signed contracts y'all couldn't read without a lawyer. But I live simple, 'cause flash don't make you better. The table went dead quiet, like the air got sucked out of Atlanta. Jamal's fork clattered to his plate. Kayla's mouth fell open, her braids swaying as she leaned back. Regina's face froze, her pearls choking her pride. Harold's smirk vanished, his scotch untouched. Why lie? Regina sputtered, her voice high and shaky. This is outrageous. To expose y'all, I said coldly, leaning forward. I wanted to see how you treat a po black mama from Decatur. And you did, with petty, bribes, disdain. You think money buys respect. It don't. I built my wealth from nothing. No handouts, no inheritance. Started as a clerk and making $5 an hour, raising Jamal alone. Worked nights for my MBA, climbed to VP while y'all was sipping cocktails on your yacht. Y'all, you lean on old money and act like it makes you kings. Jamal whispered, his voice breaking. Mama, why didn't you tell me? I softened, looking at my boy, his eyes wide with shock and pride. 'Cause I wanted you to value hard work, not my bank account. I wanted you to be a man, not an heir. Money corrupts, baby. I saw it twist folks in Macon, in Atlanta, in boardrooms. I wasn't gonna let it twist you. Kayla's eyes welled up, tears smudging her mascara. I'm so sorry, Miss Aisha. I didn't know. You knew enough to stay quiet, I said, not unkindly, but firm. You saw every jab, every smug look, and you let it slide. Learn from this, baby girl. Silence ain't always golden. Harold's card declined on the bill twice. He muttered about a bank error, his face red as Georgia clay. I reached into my ratty purse, pulled my platinum Amex, and paid with a $200 tip that made the waiter's eyes light up. I slid the card to Regina. A gift from the poor woman. Keep it as a reminder not to judge what you don't know. Regina stared at the card, her hand trembling. I don't need your money. I didn't need your pity, but you dished it out all night. Take this as a lesson in manners, something your Savannah wealth didn't teach you. I stood, my floral dress suddenly feeling like armor. Y'all talk about money like it's your soul, but it don't buy class, empathy, or respect. I got those in spades, and that's why I'm richer than y'all ever be. I walked out into Atlanta's night, the city lights dancing on the horizon like fireflies. Jamal caught up, his suit jacket flapping. He hugged me tight, his voice thick. Mama, I'm so proud. I'm so sorry I didn't know. Don't be sorry, I said, cupping his face. Be better. You saw that truth tonight. Decide who you want to be. Back home, I sat on my porch, the same wicker chair creaking under me. The air smelled of jasmine and asphalt. My phone buzzed. Kayla texted an apology, asking to talk. I didn't reply yet. Words are cheap. Change takes time. Jamal called the next morning, saying he and Kayla set boundaries with Regina and Harold. No more money talk, no more control, or they keep their distance. Regina threw a fit. Harold threatened to rewrite his will, but Jamal stood firm. I smiled, sipping my coffee. My boy was growing. Days later, I walked through Piedmont Park, the Atlanta skyline gleaming in the distance. An old black woman on a bench tossed bread to pigeons, her eyes kind. She looked like you won a war, she said, chuckling. Something like that, I replied, sitting beside her. She nodded. Folks think money's the prize, but it's the peace you carry that matters. Keep that, child. I did. In my Decatur house, with my collards and my old Honda, I had peace. I'd exposed Regina and Harold's hypocrisy, shown Jamal and Kayla what matters, and reminded myself who I am. A black woman from Macon who built an empire and kept her soul. That's my truth, and ain't no money in the world worth more than that.